So there's something that happened in one of the recent One Piece chapters, and I believe it's chapter 1069. So if you guys have not read it, I suggest you guys read it, come back, so you guys won't get spoiled. But let's talk about it. So I touched on this part a little bit in my review, and I make reviews all the time for the new chapter whenever it drops, a few hours after it drops. Sometimes I have to do it in short form because, well, I might be like on a trip or something like that, but I still do that. So make sure you guys subscribe for that. But I also made a video talking about Rob Lucci because this is what this video is kind of about a little bit. I mean, not necessarily him, but like he was like, I guess, the primary focus in this chapter. And it talked about Lucci and, you know, him being an antagonist and him and Luffy fighting again. So I'll leave that in the description as well. But you guys should definitely watch it, you know, went in depth, stuff like that. But Luffy and Lucci, they saw each other in one of the recent chapters, and we all know that you're not supposed to engage a yonko because it could start a war where Lucci disregards orders, and it's on sight. Luffy and Lucci, they obviously hate each other for everything that happened. They have they push each other to the limits, and in the end, Lucci ended up losing in round 2, but he won round 1, and this is round 3. So we then get to see a Gear 5th Luffy going against an awakened Rob Lucci. Now, I know you guys are probably going to be like, well, okay, what's the problem? And I just want to mention before I talk any further in this video, Lucci being awakened 100% makes sense. I don't disagree with that. I think that he needed to be stronger, and he already had his normal form with the real Shiki techniques. He had his hybrid and his zone form as well. The only thing that really made sense was for him to be an awakened Devil Fruit user and gain that, or for him to gain haki and have stronger haki where he would need advanced forms in order to keep up with Luffy, since Luffy has all 3 advanced forms. So, you know, it only makes sense. That's the only way he could keep up. So, like I said, logically, this makes sense. Lucci is a prodigy. So, like I said, I just want to keep reiterating that I have no problems with him being awakened whatsoever. And his design, it was pretty cool, not gonna lie. Now, this is where we're going to be talking about Devil Fruits and Awakenings. Now, no matter how much potential, just like you guys should subscribe to my channel potential, at least I greatly appreciate it, right? We post anime content all the time, but no matter how much, I think that Devil Fruits and haki will never be the best power system in anime. I don't even think it'll be top 3. I don't know, maybe not even top 5. And the reason why I'm saying this is because those two as power systems, they are very inconsistent. Now, for this video, we'll primarily be talking about Devil Fruits and Awakenings, since it was the focus of 1069, and that's why I'm making this video. But it might bleed into haki a little bit because we know that those two, they're intertwined with each other. So what exactly are awakenings for people who don't know? There's 2 quotes. One of them is going to be a direct quote from Doflamingo, and the other one is going to be a kind of a loose quote from Kaido, because those are the best, I guess, examples we got or explanations from. So from Doflamingo, he said, "Listen closely, boy. There's another stage entirely to the power of a Devil Fruit. Awakening. It's very rare, but some power can awaken and affect objects from the wielder." And then Kaido says something along the lines of, an awakening occurs when Devil Fruit users' mind and body catch up to their powers. So this obviously means that their Devil Fruit abilities skyrocket, and that they can use it in different ways depending on the type you are. We know there's Zone, Paramecia, and Logia. And so the first awakenings we ever see in the series includes the Impel Down Jailers. I think there was 3 or 4 of them, which it made them really big and really durable. But Doflamingo was the first one who actually explained what a Devil Fruit awakening is. And I want to mention that there are some characters that I personally believe, this is only headcanon, nothing is confirmed, and maybe some people in the community might agree with me, but I think there are some characters that were awakened before the topic was introduced. I think Aokiji and Akainu definitely are, because of how much their Devil Fruit abilities affected the climate of an island. It's permanently cold and permanently hot. There's also Ace, when he went on Drum Island, an island that never stopped snowing, or never, I guess, yeah, we're gonna go at never stopped snowing. When Ace went there, it stopped snowing the only day that he was there. And then Crocodile, he was able to turn different things into sand. And there's also Law and Kid's awakening. I want to mention that since they're Paramecias, that they're different from Cat and Dofi's Paramecias, where, I mean, it's kind of hard to well, you got to go more in depth with Law and Kids, but Cat and Dolphins, it just allows them to touch things, and they have the property of string and mochi, where Kid and Law's, assign magnetism, and then Kroom creating a room on the inside. So what makes the Devil Fruit Awakening so important? Obviously, it increases strength, but I'd say if you don't have advanced haki, you need something else that can compete. And I think Law's the best example of this. Law's haki is not bad, because we saw how he learned when Blackbeard's crew used the ability on him, that if he uses an insane amount of haki and his strong or whatever, it allows him to kind of negate Devil Fruit's abilities. That's, it's more, there's not a video for that, but we're gonna go with that, right? And so Law, his Devil Fruit is broken, like I said, plus the Awakening, it allows him to compete with people with advanced haki, right? Kuruma creates room on the inside. I mean, we saw what he did against Big Mom, Shock Willie, Punk Willie, Reroom, and stuff like that. And Awakenings are the only counter to, I guess you say, advanced haki that we know of, because for example, Zoro, he doesn't have a Devil Fruit, and he has some forms of advanced haki, and he was able to compete against those strong Devil Fruit users. At least to me, what doesn't make sense is how the strongest creature in this series, in Kaido, does not have an awakened Devil Fruit. And the same can go, I guess you could say, with Big Mom. I think that Yonkos should have awakenings because they are the pinnacle of strength in the series. And once something's introduced, the next opponent, I guess you could say, like the main antagonist, should have it. For example, Dolphy, he was the main antagonist of Dressrosa and introduced awakenings, and then the next main antagonist, I know Big Mom was stronger, but she wasn't the main antagonist. We had Cat, who was able to have an awakening, plus Future Sight, and then Kaido, we even transcended Future Sight, where we had to learn Rio, and then there was Advanced Conquerors. And so Big Mom was defeated by two people with an awakening, in Law and Kid, and then also Luffy, he defeated Kaido and he gained his awakening. So an arc that has three characters not necessarily gaining it because Law and Kid had theirs, but showcasing new awakenings and new abilities. I'm surprised that Big Mom and Kaido didn't have it. I know that Wano was a long arc, but dang. Right? And then characters in the future, we have Admirals. They're definitely going to have awakenings. Blackbeard better have an awakening, because I don't know how he's going to beat Luffy. And like I said earlier, Luffy awakened in that arc. And people are saying that Kaido's magma form, when he went in that like super rage thing towards the end, where they had that clash with him and Luffy, that was his awakening. But I ain't buying it. I said earlier that haki was going to bleed a little bit into this, and this is where I'm talking about, because there was a moment where Big Mom showcased Advanced Conquerors, where she knocked Page 1 out, where she never used Advanced Conquerors on Law and Kid. And my question is, why? Like, was she holding back? Like, what the fluff was she holding back for? Because if she was, well, she lost because of it. And I know it's anime, and like certain things that people do and yada 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 is fiction, and some people get mad, but especially power scalers, like, oh, this is a logic, makes sense, it's anime, get over it. But I can understand why Big Mom and Kaido like held back and underestimated people, or the supernova a little bit, right? But then Red Rock happened and different things happened, and it was a reality check for them. But once they experienced that, why didn't they go all out? I know Kaido wanted to experience the joy of the fight, and when he did go all out, well, he knocked Luffy off of Onigashima. But once Big Mom sustained damage, I think she said something on the lines of she hasn't experienced pain like this in a long time. Like, if she had an awakening or something like that, she should have went all out. And all I'm saying is that for me, it doesn't make sense for Yonkos not to have awakenings, since they're considered the strongest in the series. So why was Rob Lucci awakened? Like I said, Lucci being awakened, it does make sense. I guess it's more me getting mad at Big Mom and Kaido because it doesn't make sense that they weren't. And I understand that certain characters will be able to do certain things. Like, for example, I think like Sanji, he'll probably get Future Sight, and maybe Zoro doesn't. But at the same time, Zoro probably get or has advanced armament. Sanji probably won't. There's certain things that Oda wants for certain characters to have, and I'm fine with that. But I also think that we have to be more consistent, especially with these strong characters. It's kind of like sometimes like the community has to speculate, oh, is this character using haki, or are they not using haki, right? Like, for example, the Toby Ropo, at least to me, all of them had haki, and the Straw Hats, they don't. And I know haki's not end all be all, but it doesn't make sense that the Straw Hats didn't have to awaken haki in order to defeat them. And I don't know. I didn't think that they did a good job with that. But that just might be me. That just might be me nitpicking. I just think that their Fruit Awakenings need to be more consistent. But let me know how you guys feel about Rob Lucci being awakened and Kaido and Big Mom not, at least that we know of. Let me know in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from me. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. It's on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.